Here now with Tim. Well, and of course, then there are the tropics. It's getting busy out there.
It sure is. You know, we're still dealing with Fiona. Made landfall in Puerto Rico over 3 days ago, and it hasn't moved very far. It's now just lifted north and out of Turks and Caicos Islands. A Category 4 storm. Notice the eye contracting. That is a signal of a very strong storm. It's a Category 4, 130 mile per hour sustained winds. But it's still crawling off to the north at only 8 miles per hour. Eventually, it picks up speed and passes by just to the west of Bermuda by early Friday morning, still packing 130 mile per hour winds. It should be far enough to the west that the strongest of the winds stay west of the island nation there, but still going to be some impacts, and then eventually moving north into Atlantic Canada. But check this out. By the time it gets there, it still has sustained winds of over 100 miles per hour, and that wind field will likely be very, very large. This will have historic impacts to Atlantic Canada, Nova Scotia, Labrador as we get into this weekend. As Sherman mentioned, it's very busy out there. Not only do we have Fiona, we've got Gaston well into the North Atlantic, not affecting anybody, and then 3 other tropical waves. Most notable here is Invest 98L that we've been tracking since yesterday, still very disorganized, and what it's going up against is shear from the outflow from Fiona in the upper levels, drawing winds out of the north and dislocating all the convection, tilting Invest 98L, so it's not able to stand up straight and develop just yet. But eventually it moves into a very fertile environment in the Caribbean. That's why it's got a 90% chance of becoming our next named system. So how does it look on the computer models? Here are the spaghetti plots, taking it into the Caribbean in a very fertile environment, strengthening it. And by the time we get into the middle of next week, it could potentially make its way into the Gulf of Mexico. So this bears close watching. Each little variable change will have an impact on its evolution. So we'll have to watch this very, very carefully over the next 7 to 10 days. So we've got a lot of time to watch it. That's the good news. So here locally, record heat expected into late week. A cold front looks to likely arrive by early next week. And until then, that's our next rain chance. Until we get there, dry as a bone. 89 degrees outside now, dew point at 70, makes it feel like it's in the mid-90s, and we'll have heat index values right around 100 for the next few days. Radar is quiet, but aloft there's a lot of dry air. We're under an influence of a big dome of high pressure, but it doesn't feel very dry outside. But as we get through the next couple of days, it's a little more likely that some of that dry air mixes down to the surface, and that should actually help boost our air temperatures, making it more likely that we threaten some records tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. That ridge doesn't really go anywhere right through the upcoming weekend. That's why we stay hot and threaten those records. 100-degree records for today and tomorrow. It'll be close tomorrow, but I think we more likely break them Friday and into Saturday. So highs today, 97 at Houston, 91 Bay City, 95 out in Katy, 95 out in Sugar Land as well. Lots of sunshine. And there's a check of that 7-day forecast. A lot of heat, dry weather through the weekend. Notice rain chances come back into the picture, even though quite minimal. Only at 20% as that front looks to move in here by early next week. Sherman?